to Alan Wake. I do believe we are on to episode 5, The Clicker, which you may remember from a flashback sequence in an earlier episode where they went to his New York apartment, and the power went out, and Alice, having a phobia of the darkness, asked for a story to calm her. Alan told the story of when he was a child, and also afraid of the dark. His mother gave him a disconnected light switch, like just the switch, not connected to anything, and said if he clicks it, the darkness will go away. So it's just an old childhood memory, effectively. And also the title of this episode. Let's see if there's a previously on here. I'll stop rambling.
Previously on Alan Wake. Under the influence of the dark presence, I wrote a horror story that is coming true. Jagger had been my editor, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. Some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story.
Together we can create something absolutely wonderful.
The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. My mom gave me this old light switch.
The clicker.
Alice is being kept in a dark prison. I need to find Cynthia Weaver to fix this.
It's your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.
That's right, Rudyard Kipling.
The neighboring counties. Naturally, we hope to break the record set by last year's Moose Fest in our neighboring town, Watery. Ladies and gentlemen, some people have asked me, what's the big deal about Deer Fest? And I think that this sums it up. It's about friendship and community. We've got a great party coming up, but let's try to hold it in until tomorrow and get through the night in one piece, all right?
I have it. Someone will come for it when the time is right. Thomas said so. He wrote it. The key is insurance. It's my job to keep it safe. Safe in the light. Always in the light.
All the manuscript pages were gone. The FBI agent had taken them.
I think my tongue just took a crap in my mouth. Ugh.
You might want to see a doctor about that, Barry.
Al, this is not good.
That about sums it up.
Oh, just as I stepped forward. Barry.
I am never drinking again.
I need
Certainly
to talk
not
to
drinking
She's the one
unfiltered
who saw
lake water
the Lady
again.
of the Light.
What, the crazy lady? Ugh, whatever you say, Al, but we're stuck here. They're not gonna...
Okay, before Nightingale bursts in and makes things complicated again, let me just quickly recap. We are in jail because we broke into the Anderson farm and started drinking all their moonshine and got wildly drunk and probably vandalized the place a little bit while we were sleepwalking. I'm not sure. I can't attest to that last part. But that was very, very important because up till now, Alan has been confused. He's lost his memory. There was a potential kidnapper involved in the disappearance of his wife. He was being manipulated, etc., etc. All of that finally changed when he was able to drink the moonshine at the Anderson farm, which, as I just mentioned, includes Cauldron Lake water. So it's sort of like a safe way to reconnect yourself to the darkness, and therefore return to yourself your ravens, as Tor and Odin called it, your memory and thought. The Baba Yaga steals your ravens, and you must get them back. So we did get them back, but we were caught on the Anderson farm by Agent Nightingale, who just hates us. And now he's taken all of our manuscript pages, which include, say, his name. Like, I've written about Agent Nightingale being a jerk in my manuscript pages, and now he's going to have access to all of that. And he's going to wonder, hey, how did he know that I was going to be here? And it's all going to be very confusing. So, just a quick recap. I believe that's where we were just prior, at the farm, and that's where we passed out. Nightingale found us there. Now we're back in Bright Falls on Main Street in the sheriff's office. Okay. Come on in, Nightingale.
I had some reading to do first, Sheriff. And let me tell you,
It was an interesting read. Well, I've got you now, Raymond Chandler. It's all here. All the evidence, including conspiracy to murder a federal agent. There's no way you're walking out of here. You hear me in there, Bret Easton Ellis? Huh?
Agent Nightingale, I want to talk to your superior.
Well, we all
This
want
never gets
me,
old.
Sheriff. I wanted my... Look, that's not possible right now.
Agent Nightingale, I insist.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is the part where we die. Thanks, Agent Nightingale. You've killed us all.
Wrong?
Lady, are you stupid? It's a trick. It's an obvious trick.
Okay, I've had enough of this crap. Wake, I'm gonna trust you with this.
You're joking.
Agent Nightingale, your opinion would matter more if you were sober and if I actually believed you were here on official business.
Whoa! Get back in the cell, Stephen King. The only way you're leaving this place is over my dead...
Wait a minute. I know this.
Seems a little familiar, doesn't it?
Oh my god!
Light.
Almost
We
as if
need
you've read
light.
it somewhere
It's
before.
the only way to fight this thing.
In my office. I've got your things there. Follow me.
Oh, man.
Okay, but 1 second. I need to clean up.
Nightingale tried to make sense of the manuscript. It was disjointed and strange. He didn't understand half of it, but it all rang true. Impossibly true. He took out his hip flask when he reached the page that described how he reached the page that made him take out his hip flask. It wasn't the booze that made his mind reel.
I love that page. There's another, before we pick up the other one there, let me try to find... I think there's one in episode 1 that is a... Oh, maybe it's not episode 1.
For a long time, the dark presence...
Nope. Let me check episode 2. It's one of these nightmare mode only pages. I don't know. I'll find it eventually.
I lifted the page in front of
This
my
might
eyes
be
and
it.
read it. In it, I lifted the page in front of my eyes and read it. In it, I lifted the page in front of my eyes and read it. In it, I lifted the page in front of my eyes and read it. In it, I lifted the page in front of my eyes and read it. In it, I lifted the page in front of my eyes and read it.
That might be my single favorite nightmare page. It's one of the ones you can only get in nightmare mode. And it's just cute. I love it.
Stay cool.
Alright, but here's the other one of importance now.
Nightingale felt the situation veering out of his control, but the gun at least felt steady in his hands. He was ready to fire, resolved that he would let this happen over his dead body. And yet he hesitated. He had seen this moment before, read it in the page. He was transfixed by the déjà vu and the horror that he was a character in a story someone had written. Then the monstrous presence burst in behind him and dragged him into the night.
He didn't have much time to be transfixed by deja vu and horror. Alright. I'm with you, Sheriff Breaker. To the end of the line. Though if you have any coffee thermoses around here, I'd sure appreciate you pointing them out. Oh, thank you very much for the subscription. It's very kind of you, and welcome aboard. And good morning to all there. So lovely to see you.
What do I need to know? What do you need from me?
They can be hurt in the light.
Don't mind if
only
I do.
in the light. And I need to find Cynthia Weaver. She can help me stop this.
Light. Check. Cynthia. She lives in the old decommissioned power plant. I can get you there pretty quickly in the rescue chopper. Come on. Let's get back to your friend.
All right.
Wheeler, I need you to stay here.
What? No.
We're going to fetch our ride.
This is a super cool little part that I'm going to stick around with Barry for, even though Sheriff Breaker is right to urge us onward to action. We're going to delay her plan for just a second and stick with Barry, because this is something I did not catch 10 years ago when I played through this game. It didn't exist back then, but is probably the most direct reference to Control that I can remember. back at this point.
Friends who need to be warned about this, and I can't be in two places at once. I need your help.
Well, okay.
Here's a list of people and phone numbers. I need you to call them and tell them you have a message from me. Night Springs, okay? They'll know what to do.
Night Springs? Like the TV show? Gotcha. Oh, hey, that radio guy is on the list. Maine. Who's Frank Breaker? He related to you?
My dad.
So, as I believe I've mentioned on a previous episode, Frank Breaker, Sheriff Sarah Breaker's father, I don't believe he's at this moment an agent of the Federal Bureau of Control. I believe he's retired to Bright Falls. Previously I said he was at this moment, even now, an agent. I don't think that's true. I think he is retired. But he was an agent of the Federal Bureau of Control, and he was the one who responded to the events in Cauldron Lake Lodge in the 1970s, 1970, 1976, and 1978, the Thomas Zane and Anderson brothers incidents. And then they have this sort of secret code set up now. They know that things, strange things, happen in Bright Falls. They've happened multiple times. And so now they have this code word about that Twilight Zone show, Night Springs. That if something weird is happening, just call all the people on this list, give them the code phrase Night Springs. That means, hey, some weird stuff is going on in Bright Falls. And Frank will then notify the Bureau. So this is actually, canonical history happening before our eyes. This is the moment that the Bureau learned that this was all happening again in Bright Falls.
Hey, is this like a secret society?
Can you do this? You'll be safe here. The backup power's on. These guys need to be alerted, just in case we don't come back.
You'll come back for me though, right?
As soon as we get the chopper ready. Thanks, Wheeler. I owe you one. Okay, let's go, Wake. Through the back.
My hangover wants a piece.
So you're supposed to run off with Sarah immediately. The world is in the balance. What are you doing delaying things? But we're just going to stick around and listen to some of the calls Barry makes, because not only is it super cool to actually see that link to Control, but it gets very funny.
Think there's any way I could order one
Also.
out?
My hangover wants you to shut up and get to work.
But I'm not sure why I'm spoiling that for you. You'll find out for yourself whether it's funny.
Yeah, I know it's late, but listen, the sheriff, Sarah, asked me to tell you something. She says Night Springs, okay? So I guess she... Yes, sir. Okay, No, she's okay. She's just busy, so she asked me to... Oh, no.
Fine
no.
parenting.
Actually, I'm a literary agent, sir. I'm just helping her out because she's busy right now.
Received the message, and is my daughter okay?
Well, the one you'd most likely be familiar with is Alan Wake.
That's me.
You're kidding.
Hey.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, sir. I'll tell Al you said that. That's really nice. But listen, I really need to make some more calls here. You got the message, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, thanks, sir. Bye now. Hey, the sheriff's dad is a big fan, Al. Said you're the best thing to happen to crime fiction since James Elroy. I think he was a little drunk, though.
Well, clearly, yes.
Hello? This is Barry Wheeler. I'm calling on behalf of the sheriff. Sarah says Night Springs. Okay? Okay.
So he makes the most official call to Frank to tell him the news. Then he makes a couple of other calls that just says, hey, Night Springs, all right, goodbye.
Hi,
But then he
Barry
starts
Wheeler.
talking to
I have
this
a message
lady.
from Sarah. Night Springs. Okay? Bye now.
And I just love how they finally make you move along.
Hello, ma'am. Sorry to
As
bother you.
Sarah is
Barry
impatiently
Wheeler,
waiting
Sheriff
right
Breaker.
over there.
She asked me to tell you. Wheeler? Ma'am, she asked me to... No, I'm... Yes, but the sheriff asked me to... Yeah, I think this is gonna take a while, Al. You better get going.
So he finally just gets on the phone with a woman who will not let him deliver the news. He keeps interrupting him. And if you sit here, he'll just keep having this... Yeah, but ma'am, I'm...
please,
And that just cracks me up. So now you can sit there as long as you want. He'll never be able to finish that last call. Anyway, quick look for thermoses. Thank you for indulging me there. I just love that little connection to control. Alright, sorry, Sarah. I'm being far too thorough.
Oh, hell. Whatever took
Henry
Nightingale
David
must have
Thoreau.
broken the gate controls. We can't reach the gate's control box from here. We need to get to the other side over the rooftop.
I'll go. I'll open the gate for you once
Okay.
I'm across. You stay here in the light and cover me, Sheriff, okay?
Are you sure? Okay then, but hurry.
Seeing a ladder over here. Handy. Thank you, lever. That's my favorite lever now. I would put that lever in my will, had I any physical possessions. As it stands, it would be pointless and insulting to do so. He left everything to you in his will. Oh, really? And what was that? Oh, nothing at all. Nothing at all. You made me come all the way down. You made me put on pants and meet you at your lawyer's office for this? I'm taking my pants off now. No, this is unacceptable. Alright, watch your step. There's inky goos all over. Inky goos and Angry Birds. That's the title of my autobiography. All right. Now the title of my autobiography is less. It's shorter now. I suppose I have to get over there. Oh ho ho. My old man knees are working.
Hey, Sheriff! Your password. Night Springs? What's that all about?
It's a stupid joke we have. That Bright Falls is the original inspiration for the TV show. This town can get weird at times. Never this weird, though. You need to bypass the damaged control box.
What am I?
So one of the things she said is, oh, that's just an inside joke. You know, Night Springs is just like the Twilight Zone kind of show that deals with weird things. So they're just saying, yeah, Bright Falls, we're just joking that it might be the original inspiration for the show Night Springs. And I'm unclear exactly at what point in the timeline the Federal Bureau of Control takes over Night Springs. I don't think it was always a social experiment. Like, say, back when Alan was a staff writer for the TV show Night Springs, I don't think it had any relation to the Bureau. But at some point, they did, like in the last 10 years since Alan's disappearance, the Federal Bureau has revitalized the show Night Springs and is using it as like a social experiment, similar to their radio show America Overnight. It's like we know secrets that we don't believe the public is capable or comfortable knowing, but we'll put it out in a TV show episode and see what everyone's reaction is. So it's like, yeah, there's a sentient mold growing into our universe that everyone will want to eat, and it will kill them. and turn them into zombies? Like, do we put that information out in the, the Times and just let everyone read about it and go, huh, okay, sentient mold? Or do they put it out in a TV show, in a radio show, and a conspiracy theory, and a rumor, and, oh, my second cousin has met the sentient mold, and then it's just sort of out there, and they can sort of measure the response. So it's interesting that, though I believe she's being truthful, that it's just sort of an inside joke. Later on, Night Springs becomes a direct arm of the
An
Bureau.
electrician? Hold on!
That's all it takes. If you want to electrocute yourself, just go on out and press A.
The keys to the chopper are there.
Okay, Sarah, but I'm just gonna grab some of this first. I'll be right with you. Please don't go far. I need you. I need you to defend me from the darkness. I'm quaking in my elbow patches. Please don't go far. Gotta make use of that shield button. Oh yeah, that's a good shield button. Okay, Sarah, pardon me. So I'm just going to try to get their shields down, and then primarily let Sarah take care of the firepower here, while help out when needed. Get him. Get him, Sheriff. Oh, that's the good stuff. This is one of my very, very favorite sequences. Making your way through Main Street with Sheriff Sarah Breaker being an absolute badass by your side. And protection. Get out from behind there, you coward. Poor guy's truck. Sarah, what are you doing? Okay. Check over here real quick.
Over here, Wake! The chopper's in the other direction!
Yep, sorry, I'm seeing some magical paint. Bear with me. I'm seeing some magical paint that you can't see. I swear it's real. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, whispery diving man sounds. Sorry to leave you there, in the swirling tendrils. Ah, more mystical paint.
The
Oh,
air
interesting.
smelled of fish. This was Bright Falls industrial area. There was probably a cannery nearby.
I have a flare gun equipped. I'm going to want to do something about that. There we go. Come on, Sarah. You got this. Oh, he got me in the water. Well, that's unfortunate. I was just playing around trying to give Sarah a chance.
Okay, stick close. Our first stop.
Now we gotta do this part again. So sorry. I will stop messing around and get through it quickly to get us back on track. To the best of my ability, at least. All right, Sarah. Back to one. No, thank you. Okay, some more guys here. Okay, be right back, Sarah.
Over here, Wade. The chopper's in the other direction.
Oh, you don't say. I would like to have the nuclear option with me. Yes, please. The old flare gun. And now I'll be a little bit more careful not to moisten my patches.
The air smelled of fish. This was Bright Falls industrial area. There was probably a cannery nearby.
And it's flare time. Hey. Now watch those moist patches.
Damn it! I lost the
Hey. Good, good. That's the stuff. Huh. Okay. Jump for joy. That's how I feel every time I see lithium batteries. Now we can go back on track. Of all the creaking of the docks there, it kind of sounds like creaking, it kind of sounds like breathing. Never really sure when you're near the water. This is where, if you must, you can use the porta potty. Very important part of any game. But I think my meters are good. It's fine. Oh, yeah. You hoodlums and your fence jumping. Sure we shouldn't go in the diner, Sarah? There might be donuts in the diner. Are you sure we should just pass right by the donuts? Ah, heavy-duty flashlight. That's even better than donuts. Though now that I've said that out loud, it seems impossible.
I'm gonna want explanations, you know. For example, what the hell happened to Rose? She's seriously messed up now.
The same thing I think happened to me after I arrived.
During this week, you can't remember?
Oh, I remember now.
Yeah, did I not tell you I drank unfiltered lake water and now I remember everything? Yeah, sorry. I should have filled you in there. Stop it, Bucket. Every time with you, Bucket. Every time I come by, you hurl yourself dramatically into the hallway. Such a diva.
Barry was in his element, making calls, making things happen, even if he didn't entirely know what those things were. He wouldn't let the hot sheriff chick down. Even if every noise he heard from outside, and he heard plenty, made him jump. He had only paused to text Al a message, told him to hurry up. Suddenly, Barry froze in mid-dial. A window broke somewhere in the building, and then the lights went out.
So at some point, I'm going to get a text from Barry, and at that point, he will be attacked back at the sheriff's station. Oh, thank you so much. I'm seeing another subscription there. That's very kind of you. Welcome to the adventures. All right. Now we have a heavy-duty flashlight. That's definitely going to help.
And I thought New Yorkers were rude.
Do not mess with us. We are trigger happy and looking for reasons to rage. No, rage. There, nailed it. Ah, sweet, sweet light. To illuminate my elbow patches. All the better to illuminate my elbow patches by. Oh, we're ready for you. Go ahead, ambush us anytime.
Wait, over here! There's light! I have a key. Watch my back, Wade.
Okay, watch your back. I can do that part.
It's an ambush.
I misspoke. This part's gotten quite complicated. You'll have to watch your own back. the chainsaw guy. Sure. Everyone loves a quick chainsaw guy. Okay, there's chainsaw guy. Someone else over there. Got him. Good for you. Okay, once again, I'll be right back, Sarah. Here's your second chance, if you must. Use the porta potty.
Okay, someone's messed with the fuse box here, but you should be able to jury-rig it while I find the keys.
I already got electrocuted once today. How about I look for the keys and you get burned for a change?
Fine. They should be in the clerk's office on the other side of the building, near the main entrance.
Gotcha.
Okay. Switching jobs. I am now the key finder. I find the keys.
The keys aren't upstairs, Wake.
I'm just gonna take a quick look.
But what if they have cheesecake?
Freedom.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Vigilance, conscience, and uncompromising clarity of vision. A need so fundamental, it permeates our very being. And yet, a man may be brought to his knees in a single heartbeat. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, taken in his prime. For young Manny, the night hasn't been kind. He's a marked man, selected for a lifetime of servitude after answering an ad in the newspaper. But first, a little field surgery is required.
Well, well, look what I found.
Please, no!
Yeah, I think you're just about ready for it.
Best if you don't resist this, kid. We gotta beat it out of you.
What? I don't understand. What did I do? I just wanted to get a job in the service industry.
Wow, you're gonna serve all right.
Anyone who's ever been to a job interview will find this quite familiar.
Right between the self-esteem and the childhood traumas.
What are you doing to me?
Squirming. There, I got it. Believe me, kid, this free will thing is more trouble than it's worth.
What was that? Oh, nothing for you to worry about, Manny.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
We'll tell you all about that. Don't you worry.
Another vacant worker ant, birthed in fury and violence for the pleasure and convenience of ruthless and malicious men. Stranger things can happen in Night Springs.
It's a little too real. All right, we're moving on. This is a very, bureau sort of room going on. Concrete angles, brutalist architecture, file cabinets, yes. I'm enjoying this. Okay, that appears to be all.
The darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's face was furious. The story in the manuscript had been making it stronger all the time, but now the light had set the writer free and hurt it, weakened it. It was only a matter of days before the dark presence would be strong again, but meanwhile, it would be difficult to recapture the writer. The message was from Barry. He was getting worried at the station.
There's that text from
He wanted
Barry.
us to hurry.
So he's now in trouble. As soon as he sends that text, the window breaks. Hello there. An even bigger flashlight. Yes, please. Yes, please, and thank you thrice. And the helicopter
Okay,
key.
Sheriff, I got the keys.
Though I've seen enough birds floating around to think that the helicopter key is not the way to go here. In my day of birds.
Barry?
Why isn't he inside?
Or should I call it my night?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Barry, look out! Barry, move!
Duck your head, Barry.
Barry!
He made it inside, Wade.
Good thing he was wearing that puffy coat.
The storefront's blocked. Come on, Wake. Let's go around. We can meet him in the back.
But I gotta run up there and go, Barry! First.
Barry?
Just in case.
Barry! Can you hear me? Are you okay in there?
Yeah, I'm cool. Don't worry.
Oh, good, okay. He's fine.
Are you sure?
He's Barry.
Besides, there's all sorts of useful stuff in here.
Not necessarily seeing anything here.
I didn't touch that. I wasn't anywhere near that.
Barry's vandalizing the general store. It's not recorded when Bright Falls was first formed as a nameless trading post, but it became a town when the Bright Falls Mining Company started to operate nearby in 1878. It was then that Hubert Biltmore, a fur trapper, and Amos Gunderson, a pioneer from Tacoma, decided to build a post office, saloon, and hotel, all operating from the same building. It was through the efforts of these two men that Bright Falls became the permanent and thriving town it is today. Oh yeah, we're all just thriving here. Trust no one. Except for Sarah and Barry. We'll have to pen that in. Nope, not the shotgun. Here's where you can take a small bath. I guess. If needed. Just try not to make much noise.
We can make it through the bookstore. Wheeler should be waiting for us in the backyard.
Keep the hell down or I'll call the sheriff.
Oh, hi, Doc. I've got it. Don't worry about it.
Sarah, about time somebody showed up. All this shooting in the air is idiotic. One of these days they'll kill somebody. And over Deerfest.
I know. Go back to bed. He's got a point, Wake. Look, this town can't take this.
Oh, it's fair. I can't really think of a town that could easily take a absolute swarm of darkness, possessing all of their citizens and killing everyone. So, yeah, that's fair, Sarah. I'm gonna need to look around used books. Hope they have the Tale of Despero. I'll be right back. Very likely. I'm always mentioning this. I'm sorry for the many, many times I've already mentioned it, but very likely there's like coffee up here. But once again, it does not come back after the first time you found it, so some of these dead ends aren't truly dead ends. They just...
They're really taking
I've already
advantage
been
of your
here,
presence
regrettably.
Wake. I heard they're selling a lot of your Alex Casey books.
Right now, I'm not a big fan of my own writing. Cynthia Weaver worked hard, following her obsessive rituals, sometimes fighting them, always giving in to them in the end. She haunted the halls of Bright Falls and the power plant. She marked her caches with light-sensitive paint that could only be seen by eyes that had been touched by darkness and saved by light like she'd been. She was preparing defenses and supply lines for the war she knew would come. The war between the forces of light and darkness.
That is a massively important page and answers a question I've been unsure of myself. One of the reasons why I needed so desperately to play back through this. Every time we see one of those caches, the light-up paint, the light-sensitive paint that can only be seen by the eyes that have been touched by darkness and saved by light. Every time we see one of those that plays that little breathing sound, that diver suit sound. And so I always assume, sort of by default, that Thomas Zane, in addition to being able to slip the pages down between time and space to you at the appropriate times, I always assume Thomas Zane is also sort of placing those caches of supplies, because it's like, who else would know? But I always forget, when Thomas Zane wrote himself out of existence, Cynthia Weaver had already been corrupted by the darkness, or touched by the darkness. She had a huge crush on Thomas Zane. She was effectively his, the 1970 version of Rose in this same cycle. And so she knew him, she knew his work, he was very important to her, and then he wrote himself out of existence, which I thought would have left this, crater in Cynthia Weaver's mind, where that crush used to exist. But because she was touched by the darkness, she had knowledge of all of this. She knows about the war, she knows what Thomas Zane did, and she remembers him since. So she may have been trying to tell people, Thomas Zane told us this would all happen, and they're like, who? She might be the only one, along with Tor and Odin Anderson, that actually remembers him directly, like his full name, and not just initials. So Cynthia Weaver is who we have to thank for all of our supplies, all of these caches of goodies and flashbang grenades. Cynthia has been worried that the Taken would come back, like they did in the 70s. And has been leaving light weapons for whoever was around at this time. So we have a lot to thank Cynthia for, and also, she's not as crazy as I thought. Like, she's not missing the information of Thomas Zane, but she is a little more tragic than I thought, having to bear the burden of that knowledge when everyone else thinks she's crazy this whole time. So it's better and worse for dear Cynthia than I remembered.
I don't see Barry.
There he is.
Maybe that's him. That's the way to the chopper.
So I wonder why you always hear the diving suit sound. If it's Cynthia that's giving you all of these. Like, obviously, just for a programmatic gameplay reason, it's good to have an audio cue for your collectibles. That's very kind of them. But it's like that audio cue could be anything. It's the fact that it is Thomas makes me think there's a lore reason. Just curious about what plants they're growing in here exactly. None of my business, really. But Alan is quite stressed. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep, you pushed that, right, Sarah? Just tell me you pushed that. Lie to me, Sarah. Ooh, there's some goodies here. A hunting rifle. Let's see, I have 13 shots, so yeah, I could probably switch. I think I already have that lantern. I think they're just giving it to you again in case you missed the other one. For some reason. And I will switch in a couple of shots. I'm going to use up my 13 first.
I'm gonna give Pastor Howard a piece of my mind about this lock. Ugh, I told him to get it fixed.
Physical labor. Let's take a break.
So glad you got the audio figured out too there. Sorry, it was glitching. Glad to have you back with us.
Omega-3 fatty acids are good for your heart.
Oh, they sure are. I wish I had some omega-3 fatty acids right now.
Where'd he go?
Okay. This got complicated. Come back here. There, crossfire. Okay, now I can switch. Only 5 shots of hunting rifle, though. That's not any better, necessarily.
Okay, it's open. Let's go, Wake.
Huh. Maybe something in here. Hunting rifle, perfect. That'll be good. Oh, this truck is bothering me. Let's take a peek. I hate to be indecent, but I'm going to peek in the backside of this truck. Yep. That's why.
Barry got back to his feet inside the Bright Falls General Store and dusted himself off. Right next to the cans of baked beans was a locked case filled with flare guns, and yet here was a conveniently placed barrel of crowbars. Barry smiled widely as he realized that this was the classic movie scene where the hero had to gear up and arm himself to the teeth. Barry threw himself into the role.
I love this so much, because it's not just that Barry is taking charge. He's defending himself and his friends. He's acting out. It's great. It's also like a... Barry would have wanted this moment. This is a gift to a friend, in addition to actually physically saving Barry's life. This is that cool moment that Barry just needed. And I like the fact that Alan, through an absolute catastrophe, was able to give it to him. Alright, we're gonna want to put away our concealed firearms before we enter, Sarah. Oh, okay, fine. I guess we're just gonna waltz in, shotgun in hand.
Wow.
We keep them lit all night long on the night before Deerfest.
Why?
Well, it's tradition.
For it to be free, the Dark Presence needed the writer to finish the story. Again and again, the story let it get frustratingly close to the writer without letting it capture him. It was bound by the events depicted in the manuscript, but it could pursue the writer indirectly. put others on the task, and stop those who would help him. It took over everything in its path, made them its puppets, and sent them after Alan Wake.
All right.
We're almost
One of the
there.
only times Alan will be allowed in a church.
Yeah, there's no way going through the crypt will turn out to be a bad idea.
Through the crypt. Okay, Sarah. Sure. Is this a wine cellar? Do you have a wine cellar beneath the church? That's delicious. Enjoy. Let's just not deal with axemen, shall we? Pardon me, Sarah. I mean to goose you there with my flashlight. Is this furnace also alive and hungry for human blood like the other furnace we're aware of? Question mark, ellipsis, question mark. Grammatical guide to review, then some adjustments.
Did you call 911?
Oh, thanks, Barry, you genius. Oh, and he's all outfitted with Christmas lights and a headlamp now.
What are the Christmas lights for?
Protection.
He's
man.
evolved.
Like garlic against vampires.
Vampires.
The helicopter's just across the parking lot and up the hill. Come on.
Well, all right. No time to waste. Come on. Check the batteries, too. Check the... Okay, everything's full, I guess. Ah, yeah, now I'm seeing I'm at 20, of course. I could have just checked there. I was trying to check with the indicator.
Is now my favorite place in the entire world. See this headlamp? It's like a superpower. I can just look at one of those things and they die. It's my flaming eye of Mordor. I wish I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Hey, I want a headlamp.
Last one.
Bastard.
I want a flaming eye of Mordor.
Alice had screamed until she had no voice left to scream. Around her, the darkness was alive. It was cold and wet and malevolent and without end. She was a prisoner, trapped in the dark place. The terror would have burned her mind out, but one thing made her hang on. She could sense Alan in the dark. She could hear him. She could see the words he was writing as flickering shadows. He sensed her too. He was trying to work his way to her.
Not a good time for Alice. A bad week and a half so far for Alice. Oh yes, indeed. Barry is the Christmas miracle we didn't know we needed. Here in September. He is my little September miracle.
When someone throws a damn school bus at your head and you're about to take a helicopter ride with someone who may or may not have a pilot's license, you're cleared for departure to Night Springs. No offense.
Chainsaw Guy Pardue. Chainsaw Guy the re-chainsawing. Just gonna leave them to deal with the chainsaw guy. That's fine. That's what I thought too, Barry. But look at me now.
The helicopter's just up ahead. I'll need a while to prep for takeoff.
Don't take too long. I want to get out of here.
This looks like a nice spot to get ambushed. Go ahead and switch to flashbangs for this next part, just in case. Though I also have plenty of flares here. That is lovely of them. And a lot of shotgun ammo. Maybe I should switch back to a shotgun since they're like fully stocking me. How much? I have 14 with a hunting rifle still. I'll leave it. We'll figure it out. Alright. Preparations made. Preparation H. That H is for helicopter. I'm not sure how you could possibly think otherwise. Alright. Just being Henry David again. Let's go. Okay, you guys work on the flight checklist. I'll get us some more peanuts for the journey.
You will never get her back.
Get ready, I'll hold them off.
I need flares. Okay. Flares are good. And this, and that. Okay. Round 3. Really only took out the one guy, but was very thrilling. Oh, I'm trying. All right, limbs intact.
You better put an end to this.
Just get me to Weaver, Sheriff.
You're taking a big chance on a local crazy lady, Al. I hope you're right about her, or we can kiss this town goodbye.
It's a lot more than the town I'm gonna kiss goodbye, Barry. What? No, I mean, sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. It's been a long day.
Deal with this, Wake. I guess you New Yorkers are used to rough situations like this.
Right. The city's a war zone. King Kong, mutant alligators, and Alex Casey shoots the place up every weekend. Look, I never even carried a gun until a couple of days ago.
Well, my dad used to be a cop there. Tells some pretty wild stories.
Stuff like this?
No, just normal
cop,
bad
was he?
stuff. Kinda like your books, Wake. I used to tease Dad that he was just like Alex Casey.
You've read me.
Oh, sure. You're a pretty good writer. A little heavy on the metaphors, maybe.
Nobody's ever said that before.
We're coming up on the power plant. See the lit building over there? And that's the dam further up the river. I can't land
damn,
here.
further up the
I'll
river.
take her down the road across the river.
Just get me there, Sheriff.
Foreshadow birds. The birds of foreshadowing. Okay, separated from my friends again. Alan Wake, desperately lonely. Anytime now, birds. Just get close enough to die. There you go. This doesn't look good. And do I not have a weapon? Did they disarm me somehow? I guess so. Weirdly, I've left my weapons in the helicopter with Barry. Okay, then.
I had to do something about the chain for the door to open.
There we go. I kind of thought that would do it. There, I'm just shooting at the chain rather than the board. Okay. Now I don't have any flares or anything. This is interesting. Do this the old-fashioned way. Oh. Light for heals. That's the stuff. Okay. Now I'm getting restocked. Okay, we have a radio and likely an ambush. Let's see if we can take out the ambush first so we can pay attention to the radio. Come on. Ran out of stamina. Hopefully that'll put us in a good spot. Might have to open the door again. Good, we don't. Okay, so sorry. Let me try that again. Not put myself in the best of positions. There. Hello there, welcome. So nice to see you in the chat. Alright, now we should be able to listen to our radio show without the bumps in the night.
And here's a new song from a band that they always remind me of our local rock legends, the Old Gods. I couldn't tell you why. I guess it's just, one of those things. Anyway, here's Poets of the Fall and their latest single, War.
Fantastic. Little direct Poets of the Fall, who have been masquerading as our dear old gods of Asgard for us, at great personal expense. We all appreciate it. All right. On to the power station.
The power plant glowed in the night. It was close, but I had to find a way across.
Oh, that's nice. If you can get the darkness to touch the active power lines there, it's a real quick kill. Or quick dissipation. Not sure what it is. Ha! Didn't see that one coming. On the other side of this now, we can finally grab this page.
Making her way through the water pipe alone, Cynthia was angry at the writer. Foolish young man, taking unnecessary risks. And the way he broke the rules. Didn't he understand what was at stake? Since the terrible days in the 70s, she hadn't wavered once, as hard as it had been. She was tired of protecting the town all these long years, and now only wanted to rest.
Cynthia is such a hero. The poor dear. Shouldering the massive responsibility of all of this completely alone, and likely being made fun of for it. I just want to get there and give her a big hug. Just a soft squeeze from Alan. But I don't want to confuse her. If I do appear very similar to Thomas Zane, I don't want to be a dick and bring back bad memories. Back with you. There you are. Where did you go? I was looking all around the cotillion for you. Regrettably, my dance card is now full. You've missed your chance. Okay, so we have a scissor jack, or whatever that is. That's looking likely, as everywhere else ends in electrocuted nipples. All right. Scissor jack me to spare my nipples, then. Ah, so glad you got to stop by. Thank you very much, and good luck with your pillaging.
The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story, but the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice.
Thanks for the recap, Al. That's very important. I love this design, just how they put this power station right on the water and everything. It's such a cool set piece. I guess we're going around the coast to it, though. Not there yet. those Jehovah's Witnesses waiting for me in there? No longer. It's very similar to the turntable from the... oh, what is it? Panopticon? Or even down in the transport section, like by the ordinary AWE. There's a lot of turntables in the Federal Bureau, as there appear to be in Bright Falls. And wind's picking up. Alright. Probably a good sign. A lot of birds. Almost made it. Ah ha ha. All right. Ooh, give me 1 second. Looks like we may have another Night Springs. I'll be right back. Okay, time for some trashy television. The best kind of trashy. And with the tableau of the rotating turnstile back there, this is particularly awesome.
Being men, such philosophical concerns are by necessity abstract. And yet, some of us can find concrete proof of the nature of our existence in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, an absence of creativity.
Hello, Martha. What did you want to show me?
Oh, Lydia, thank God you're here. Please, it's in the basement.
Oh, Martha. Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't it just? I found it here this morning.
It's like it isn't there, but oh, I can't look straight at it.
Yes, I'm sorry.
How did you get here?
Well, I'm trying to work.
Did you put this thing here?
In a way. To be more precise, I put everything here but that.
Really? But what is it?
Oh, I guess the temptation is to call it a hole, but it's really an absence, a profound lack of reality.
In Martha's basement?
Right in Martha's basement, yes.
So well, too. I came up with two old ladies and put something really weird in the basement. It was a great start. I'm completely blocked now. I can't imagine what I was up to.
Surely it's just an ordinary basement.
Is it?
Is it?
Why did you call your friend here then?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Couldn't you just ignore it?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. It would probably turn into a plot hole. Might be one already. Could sink the whole enterprise.
Oh my.
Listen, ladies, not to be rude, but I'm really not at all sure where I'm going with this, and you're just not helping. You should just go
I should just stop here. Or is that too moronic?
Is that too moronic? Indeed. Who can tell? It's a fine line between the stupid and the sublime. Night Springs.
It's a fine line between the stupid and the sublime. And oh, I think they're riding that line quite perfectly. Barry? Sarah? Helicopter itself? Hi. Okay, but watch out for birds while you're up there. Oh, this is nice. I have a mobile light source. And you, bad, naughty boy. If you still had a corporeal bottom, I would give it a short, sharp smack. No, that's not really appropriate. We don't even know each other. I'm sorry. Okay. Give me a second. Can't shoot everybody in the back. Get into the light, please. Get into the... Oh! Oh, man. I guess that does not heal me. I thought it would. But it must not be like a real light source that heals you. Okay, trying that again. Been very generous with the checkpoints here. Thank you. Thank you for that. Alright, we keep these guys away with a flare as I take out the smaller ones. There you go. That's for you. And then this is for you. So many burly lumberjacks out here. What's an Allen to do? No. That's bad. Okay. So it looks like there's something over here, and then we're going this way. Perfect. All right, give me just 1 second. That's watery. All right. Safe haven. All right. I'll trust you.
seen a version of it painted all over the area, signifying hidden caches of supplies.
Interesting. So he's saying the Bright Falls Light and Power torch there, the logo, is what he's been seeing painted alongside all of this. It's a little bit of an abstraction of it, in my opinion, but sure, yeah, I'll go for that. Just check to make sure this shed isn't open here. Doesn't even have a door. I'm seeing things. Alright, here we go, into the power plant.
Hold it right there!
Miss Weaver, Cynthia, I'm a friend.
Prove it!
You knew Zane, Thomas Zane. You're the Lady of the Light in the song. You can help me.
How good that must be to hear.
About time! Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you.
Oh my god, finally. Thank you, Alan. It's been 40 years.
Well-lit room.
Excuse me?
What you'll need to drive the darkness back. The well-lit room is at the dam. I built the room to keep it safe.
Sorry, I'm stealing from you. 1 second. Okay, what were you saying about the dam?
Alice? Will it get me back to the cabin? Fine, let's go. I can get my friends to come back with the helicopter.
Oh, we won't go outside. Never at night. That's rule number 1. You've been breaking the rules, young man, and where has that gotten us, No, I have a secret route, a lit route, an old water pipe. Something was damaged at the transformer yard. It's draining all the reserve power. Without it, the pipe will go dark. The power to...
No, we can't have that.
...be cut.
Let me guess. You want me to do it?
Young man, you're the one who likes to break the rules. I can't be outside.
Oh, she's got me there.
Kill switch is outside.
Okay, I'll go get the kill switch. And then we'll go through the tunnel to the well-lit room. Where it seems Thomas Zane has left something. In Cynthia Weaver's care, lo these 30 years. Hey, there's that picture of the spiral again. Probably not important. Wink, wink.
I have been preparing for these times. The dark tides. You have found my caches, haven't you? You can see the signs. Very few people.
I can.
Yes, please. Take what you need. This is
thank you.
all for you, for the likes of us. We do Tom's work, don't we?
As
Hurry!
best we can.
The switch is on the wall facing the shore.
Alright, thank you again. Cynthia, you lovely, lovely person. I'll be right back. Take care of yourself. So we have to go cut the power to the place we just came from across the water in order for there to be enough power to get us to the other side of the dam. Ah, I have a flare gun equipped. Not what I wanted. Not at all.
Weaver had sent me to cut the power to the transformer yard. I was willing to do grunt work for her to get her to help me. I hoped Weaver was dependable. I'd stumbled into this crazy world a little over a week ago. She had been living this insanity for decades.
Alone. Maybe worth mentioning. Also completely alone.
I could see the kill switch that would cut the power to the transformer yard. Now I had to find a way to reach it.
Okay. So we have... potentially 3 interlocking gates that will get us zigzagging over there.
Use them to get to the kill switch.
Okay, so what does each one do? Number 1 is 1 and 2. Number 2 is 2 and 3. Number 3 is all of them alternating. Okay, so we need to get them together first before we hit number 3. Let's see. There we go. There we go. One of those things. And they're giving me supplies as if to say, haha, good luck, pretty boy.
Who designs these things?
Felt like I probably should wait there.
The transponder yard went dark and dead. Weaver's water pipe passage should now be good to go.
Alright, just have to get back inside alive. We now have enough power. Load everything up real quick. There we go. Chainsaw? At a time like this? But why?
Take care of your tools.
Let's just not mess around. Oh, Cynthia, I'm back. Ah, it feels good to be inside here. She's got it figured out.
Ready to go. This way. We need to go. I knew them both, Tom and Barbara. I had such a crush on him. Such a beautiful man.
Oh, thank you.
I was jealous. There was a part of me that was maybe a little glad when she had the accident. And then Tom started writing and woke the darkness up. He tried to bring her back, but you can't do that. There are no free rides like that.
I'm starting to realize that.
In that case, young man, perhaps you're a smarter man than Tom was. The witch looked like her, but it wasn't. Barbara was sweet. He didn't understand until it was too late. He tried to undo it, wrote himself, her, everything he'd ever written out of the world. Oh, he was so famous. And afterward, no one knew. Oh, Tom. He left only one thing behind in my care, in case it happened again. Insurance. He trusted me. Or perhaps used me a little.
Yeah.
I knew how I felt. Knew I wouldn't refuse him. I built the well-lit room and put it there. It's been waiting for you. We are characters trapped in a story you have written, and none of us will survive to see the end. If the darkness isn't stopped, she'll twist the story to her own dark ends.
How do you know all this?
Tom, that's the way he wrote it. He still talks to me, in television, from beyond, from below. We have both been touched by the darkness, young man. He saved us both with light, but the darkness stays with you. Leaves a stain. This pipe will take us directly to the well-lit room.
Okay, I need to call my friends, tell them where we're going.
Hello? Al!
Barry, we're headed to the dam in one of the pipes. Meet us there.
Okay, I'll tell Sarah.
It's Sarah now?
Whoa! No! For the sweet love of...
Barry!
That didn't feel good in the pipe.
We gotta go see if they're okay.
They're probably dead. You must reach the well-lit room. This is no time to be a selfish idiot.
That's my best friend.
It's my only friend out there.
Well, be a fool. I'll use the pipe. I'll meet you at the dam if you make it.
Okay, change of plans. I'm now back in the woods, attempting to rescue Barry and Sarah. We were in a well-lit pipe on the way to the well-lit room.
She knew how to stay safe.
It was all fine and dandy, but friendship. Such a burden. Here we go.
Sarah was almost starting to relax. Maybe they could turn this into a win yet. Suddenly, there was a piercing sound, like a table saw gone wild, as 100 birds made out of shadows swarmed into the rotor. The chopper bucked wildly and the board lit up, telling her what she already knew. They were going down. Barry Wheeler screamed next to her.
And he continued to scream. For a good 15-20 seconds as they fell, Barry never stopped screaming, not even for a moment. He felt that it was his duty somehow. Oh, what I wouldn't give to be back in a well-lit pipe. But not Barry or Sarah, that's for sure. What else wouldn't I give, though? Seems to be a secondary path across this log instead of all the way around that I missed. Good to know. Just try to keep the birds at bay. Ooh. Darn those bay birds.
Barry! Sheriff Baker! Sarah!
Thank goodness, again, he was wearing that puffy coat.
The crash site looked bad, but as far as I could tell, the wreck was empty.
Even a breadcrumb trail of flares, huh, Barry? I'm gonna call you Flare Bear from now on. In honor of this moment. Oh, hell yeah, Flare Bear. Way to go. I'm coming. you die, and you die, and everybody dies.
You know when to make an entrance, Wake. We were ready to make like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I have a different ending in mind.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for
I love that line.
I knew you'd be all right.
How's that?
The Flaming Eye of Mordor?
Ah, laugh it up, funny man. Didn't we have somewhere to go?
Weaver will meet us at the dam.
Something back here. There it is. Still have 18 shots. Let me check. That'll put me to 11 hunting rifle. I'm not sure why they keep wanting me to switch, but sure, I'll go hunting rifle. Just in case there is a purpose to it. Okay, and I guess this is the way we would have gone regardless. Perfect.
When you spend most of your night
Getting closer to the dam, if you'll pardon my language.
hitting your head off with an axe. You know your helicopter crash landed in Night Springs. Woo! Oh man! This is a bad idea. I know we're gonna regret this.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to regret this, Flare Bear. But hang in there. Bear with me. Flare Bear with me. There they are. Shot Barry in the back of the head a little bit there, but I think he's fine.
Was that it?
Sorry, Barry.
That was... wow. I think we're okay.
Good thing they don't have friendly fire in this game.
Hey, Al, I got a bad feeling.
Let's keep our eyes open.
At least not that I've tried. Hey, Barry, hold still.
Wait, call the elevator. I'm keeping watch.
I think I hear something moving around.
Okay, I'm calling the elevator. This will probably attract attention.
Heads up.
There's the attention.
Oh no! Oh no!
Doink.
They're coming.
Doinked in the prime of life.
Oh no! Oh no! I swear this is the slowest elevator in the world.
No, they often are.
It's almost here, Wake. Just hold on. Right there. Shooting.
All right, elevators arrived. Everybody get on. And we are out of here. Oh, everybody have their
We're
fingers?
almost there.
Bear
There's an
Bear?
entrance into the dam at the top. What's the plan, Wake?
Well, Weaver's crazy, but she's got something Zane left behind. Something to fix this.
Gee, could you be a little more vague?
Thomas Zane? Seriously? Might as well be Paul Bunyan or Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, he was real.
Let's be careful, okay?
All right.
Oh, jeez, I hate this.
Okay, Wake. There's a button over there that opens the door. I think something's broken.
Have to hold it.
Down so we can get in.
And thus we are separated. Yep. Fine. Fine. I'll do it alone.
You guys go ahead and find Weaver. She should be in the dam now. I'll have to make it alone through the top.
And where would that be?
Please, be careful.
I'll take good care of Barry, Wake. You just look out for yourself.
Thank you, Sarah.
You gotta be kidding me. Down, boy.
I didn't have to say it that time.
Thomas Zane knew he had to remove all that had made this horror possible, including himself. That was the only way to banish the dark presence he had unleashed and now looked at him through the eyes of his dead love. But he also knew that despite his best efforts, it might someday return. So even as he wrote himself and his work out of existence, he added a loophole as insurance, an exception to the rule. Anything of his stored in a shoebox would remain.
This is something that is integrally important to everything, both on this side and in Control, that I have not quite caught on to yet. There is more to know about the shoebox, and I believe we will know more about the shoebox by the time Control is done. However, one of the interesting things about it is that at this point, they're introducing it to you as a very, very good thing. The fact that Thomas Zane knew that this might happen again, he provided the loophole of the shoebox to make sure that people would be prepared, could have access to some of his writing, and that he would have a way to communicate with them or give them items if needed. However, it's also a world-breaking mistake, like a really, really bad thing. I think what we're going to find out as we get deeper into Control, and this is purely my own speculation, is that this was not a good thing Thomas Zane did. I believe that the shoebox has the ability to be manipulated and used for evil. But we really haven't gotten there yet. So this is just interesting. They're finally making direct references to this loophole that Thomas Zane made. And that anything, even if he wrote it out of the world, he could put it back in the world through a shoebox, and that it applies to any shoebox is apparently the weird thing he didn't really specify, which is how this is going to go wrong, in my opinion. In the same way that, there's that whole wing of the Bureau that's full of clocks now. It's because of a mistake, a self-replicating clock. I think the shoebox has a similar effect. It's going wild. It is becoming corrupted. Once again, I'm completely speculating, and too early in the cycle. I'm just getting excited. You know me. Always shivering with barely concealed excitement. Or is that hypothermia? I'm not sure.
Oh no.
That's always a good sign. Okay. I'll stop wildly moving the camera now. Sorry about that. Here's your seasickness bag. This is looking very similar to the dream he had to me. There's that part of it where you climb up onto the long, curving walkway to the lighthouse, and it looks almost exactly like this. Like, here's where there was a building with a billboard with Alan Wake's book on it. Right there. And then we got chased by a tornado coming down this road. So it's like, it's not the same area. You know, there isn't a lighthouse here. But that dream is very, very similar.
I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds.
Oh yeah, it could. That could even the odds right nice. Oh, that was fun. And similar to the dream, there's the tornado. So it's sort of like, are we caught up? Is this what Thomas Zane was really trying to show us? No time to think about that. Hauling ass. Ooh. Getting a little turbulent. Did you just throw a car at me? Did you just... Oh, hey, guys. Cover your head, Bear. Okay. Cynthia, lovely to see you. Sarah, Barry, group hug. Smooches, smooches. European kiss on the cheek, alright.
It's a foolish chance to take. Don't worry about the noise. We're safe here. I have looked after the well-lit room for many, many years now. There is no shadow in the well-lit room. The power is fail-safe, and all the bulbs are numbered.
A very, very important question in the chat. Pardon us, Cynthia, for the interruption. Is the cardboard cutout of Alan still okay? As far as I know, the cardboard cutout of Alan is still outside the barn at the Anderson farm. When we were arrested, drunk, or maybe he moved it in. I think when they were drinking, he moved it in to the living room with them. So it's probably still in the living room having a blast with the Andersons.
And changed regularly based on the
Safe and sound.
Right.
Okay, I think we're getting close to the end here. I regret to inform you.
It was active during the Second World War. They operated here back then. They must have built this.
Now that's interesting. Hold on, give me 1 second. So sorry. Okay, so sorry. Just something Sarah just said was there's an old, like, military base or army base, and she called it Rain Cove Point. That is the sign we saw when we were having the dream about the lighthouse with Thomas Zane. The sign to the lighthouse said Rain Cove Point, so I don't know if that really is a physical place nearby that Thomas took us to, or like I was just saying, if it was like a metaphor for that dam sequence. It was very, very similar, but it could be that I'm overthinking it, obviously. Another message in the chat there. I wonder if the fact that the lake water restored Alan's memories is a tongue-in-cheek reference to the fact that Sam Lake wrote this game. Sam Lake, yes, the lead writer for Remedy Entertainment, wrote Max Payne. He was the face of the model of Max Payne for the original. And he also wrote Alan Wake and Control and Quantum Break, I believe. He's an absolute genius and one of my favorite people in the world. I would shake him firmly by the hand, but not so firmly to be disconcerting. And there's a lot of references to him in this. It's a very personal story. That's one of the reasons I absolutely love it so much. It's a AAA game about fighting the darkness, but it's deeply, deeply intimate. It is a monologue from Sam Lake about some things that have been on his mind. And it was also, as it turns out, sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy for him, which I am heartbroken about. And wish that I could go back in time and change it all. He sort of sunk into his own dark place, as did the entire company after this was released, as it did not do as well as it should have, in my opinion. And so there are a lot of references. The fact that the writer is called Alan Wake is very similar to Sam Lake. The fact that there's Cauldron Lake, there's a line coming up at the end here that's baffled many, and me included, for well over a decade, that involves a lake. So yes, he's very integrally tied to this, our dear Sam. So sorry, Cynthia. Please continue.
It's my place now.
I'll bring up the 6. I gotcha. Oh, I guess I cannot bring up the 6. I need to be the leader. Okay.
Take it, and I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late, and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
And here's the truth.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker, and flicking the switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence, in a story I had written. I can get to her now. I can finish this.
Quick aside, before it all ends on us here. That is, oh goodness, I'm covered in the goose pimples, let me tell you. That still, after 10 years, gets me. The story he told Alice in the flashback sequence in their apartment was not his own. That was a story written by Thomas Zane about a child version of Alan. And it goes into such detail as to say that it's important to him as a child because his mother told him that his father gave it to him and he never knew his father. Like, pieces of Alan's identity that intimate were written by Thomas Zane. It's not necessarily that Alan isn't real, that Alan is a fictional character, but parts of him are fictional. Parts of him were written in the 70s, before he was born. And in the same way, like he just said, he wrote that Thomas Zane would write that in his script. So it's the best way I have of describing it is that it's like an Ouroboros, a snake eating its own tail, a serpent eating its own tail. Alan wrote Thomas Zane into existence. Thomas Zane also wrote Alan into existence. Neither one of them would exist without the other. And there is no clear breaking point. There is no beginning and end. Alan had to exist in order for Thomas Zane to exist. And Thomas Zane had to exist in order for Alan to exist. They're both integrally tied to this. Whatever the creative power of Cauldron Lake Lodge is, can alter your reality. And it's been going on for them for many decades, even many decades before Alan was even born. He has already been a fixture of the world. Cynthia Weaver has been waiting for him, for all of these reasons. So that continues to blow my mind, and I'm sure I'm not really clear on it. I need to make sure I'm thinking it through here as we go forward. But I wanted to refresh my memory on this part in particular, because I do believe there is no clear, okay, Alan is the real guy. Alan started this off. Alan wrote Thomas. Like, there is no answer there. Intentionally so. They both wrote each other into existence as part of this ongoing event. So, another ramble there. My apologies. Here we go. Just wanted to get that ramble out of the way before it ended. Seconds before. So that is Chapter 5. And the truth behind the clicker. The final chapter, Chapter 6, is up next. Departure, which is the name of the novel he's been writing this entire time. And we will see him, by the end of that chapter, write the final line in the manuscript, and his choices about how reality will be shaped will be set in stone. However, that's not the end of the story. So I am looking very, very forward to the upcoming departure, and for what comes next, and I will hopefully see you then. Thank you for all of your time and patience and listening to my manic scrambles on the walls with string tied between them here. I do appreciate it. And hopefully there will be more time for it tomorrow, say. Until then, take care of yourself. If at all possible, get a large amount of food in you and sleep like a happy puppy. I'll see you soon.